Hey everyone, we have Vishal here, and Vishal is also one of the team members of he's a core web developer in GSSoC, and today we are going to do something totally interesting. So we are going to build a leaderboard for any kind of a community. For example, let's take our GSSoC as an example. By the way, this is not exactly an official part from GSSoC, but we do have an official person here. So, Vishal, do you want to introduce to everyone?
Hello, I'm Vishal. I'm full stack web developer.
Okay, cool.
Hello.
So, today we are going to look into what are all the challenges in creating. So let's think about the scenario. So we have projects, programs like open source programs like GSSoC, and there are multiple programs here. Today we will be looking into if we need to create a list of there is a lot of open source contribution happening in the open source world. I guess I'll let Vishal to tell a bit about the leaderboard concept. Just go on, Vishal. Do you want to say something about it? What are we trying to do here?
Yeah. So for leaderboard, we are trying to automate the whole scenario. We will use the GitHub API to fetch all the PR and calculate the score depending on the level. And we have currently 4 levels: level 0, level 1, level 2, and level 3. And level 0 have a score 5 point, level 1 have a 10 point, and level 2 have a 15 point, and level 3 have a 25 point. So we will fetch all the PRs and check about the labels. And if it contains GSoC 21 label, then it is a valid label for the Gulfscript Summer of Code 2021. And then we will check the difficulty level. And from that labels, we will calculate the whole score of the participant and update the scores. And after sorting, and we will give some rank to the participant.
So it is basically we are just making sure every single PR that's been counted are from the valid repositories. For example, for this program, it is GSSoC, and GSSoC 21 has around 59 different repositories. What do you think?
One more than 100 repositories.
Okay, more than 100. Oh, sorry. 59 projects, but more than 95 plus another 10 repositories. Yeah, around 105 repositories. So now we have got a lot of challenges because there are around 6,500 plus participants pouring in their pull requests, and everything is getting merged here and there are so many things happening, right? So this is exactly what we are trying to achieve, creating who is the first person, who got the maximum score. And there are loads of scoring changes that happened yesterday, which makes it this is not going to be the final leaderboard, but this particular scoring criteria might be used by a lot of different communities. So we thought, okay, why don't we try doing something for a community base. So there are a couple of challenges in this. Number one, the rate limits. So GitHub has a crazy rate limit. We'll look into that rate limit. Then we have the data limit. How much data can GitHub send you in a single request? Even that is there. So we have got these kind of limits. And how are we going to overcome this? So if there is, let's say, a community program worth 105 repositories, and you are ranking the participants solely based on the pull request, then expect to work at least 2 to 3 hours every single day updating the scores. So this is not just the how do you say, this is actually an automation process, but for automation process you need to spend about 2 to 3 hours every single day to update the scores. But think about something where you are supposed to if there is no automation there, then think about how much time it might take for updating a score of such a grand scale. So that's exactly what we are going to do. And we have got a lot of people here. Hey everyone, and Kunal, Nisha, Manish, Nikhil. It's Nikhil. Are you able to see those things? And okay, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do it. And without further delay, let's go ahead and start. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen, and I'll do something. So the whole thing we are going to do is using what do you call this, search API, and we need to try to find the complete content of the pull requests first. So we will be using a couple of APIs. The main API that we are going to use is search API, and before that I want to tell you the rate limits as well. So let me share my screen and explain you all these things. So when you, I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Can you please comment it out if you're not able to? Okay, so if you see this, the main thing that we are going to use is the search API. The search API has a custom rate limit. So you'll be using a different queries for these things, and we will be using something like a search keyword, etc. So for example, when we are trying to use GitHub and GitHub API, there is I hope everyone remember I tried creating some kind of like this points based stuff where I was trying to manually check if this particular pull request is merged or not merged by checking a couple of data in that. But you don't need to do it because Search API has a custom property here. So coming from the previous one, you can actually do something totally different. Okay, so let me show you how we can do that. But just give me some time for that to get this. So in the meantime, any questions, anyone? Okay, first thing that we are going to do is I'm going to open up a new page. So here, I'm going to show you this particular thing. For example, let's take my repository, that is internship LMS frontend. And if you want to see the repository name here, we can see that this is the repository name, Praveen Science / internship LMS frontend. So there is a URL like api.github.com, and then there is a search. That is the search API. We are searching for all the issues. So generally pull requests and issues are almost same. So either you can use pulls or you can use issues here. Then the query is going to be, we are going to construct a query. It is something similar to what we use like the open graph search or something like that. So we will be using that one. So inside the repo, we can put something like, okay, I'm just going to show you what exactly this means. So if I go to say github.com, like literally this particular jump to thing, I'm going to put something like repository is my repository, and then I'm going to put is PR, and then is colon PR is like it's going to say this is either it's an issue or it's a pull request. Then we are going to do label. Label is GSSoC 21. So that is the current program that is being run. And the main part is merged. This is something which we are trying to search for. And if I try to search all GitHub here, we can see that there are around 9 issues that actually got merged, as well as it has the label called GSSoC 21. So if you this is exactly what we are trying to do, and this particular thing means this is the repository that we are looking at, and these are the other parameters. So with this being said, the same thing has been sent to the search API, and if we open this one, you can see that the total count is 9. And why it doesn't show any items is we have given like per page is 100, so that is the maximum limit. So second limit that we have got is the data limit. Per request you can maximum get 100 responses. Okay, so for example, the recent 100 pull requests, and another big problem is the maximum pages you can see is 10, which gives us with the last 1000 pull requests to be taken, like taken into account. As simple as that. Now what we are going to do now is, so here we have got like total count is 9 and no items. The reason why no items is I have put the page as 10th page. So if I remove this one and go to the first page, I'll be able to see all the pull requests that are being added. So if you see this merged property in each of the pull requests, you can clearly see that it has been merged in a particular, like a particular commit ID or something like that. So we can easily see that by using the network tab. So I'm just going to open the network tab and run this out again. So if you see here in the preview, we can see that there are total count is 9, and all the items also the total count is also 9 here. So let's take one random pull request, and we can see like there should be something like merged at or something like that, but it is not there here. But for example, if you see the HTML URL, let's try to open this one, and it is actually merged. So this is a successful merged pull request, and yes, so you can see the correct labels are also there. So GSSoC 21 and level 0 is also there. So this should be giving us the 5 points, right? So that's exactly what we are doing as the first step. We need to identify which particular pull requests are valid. So right now the total count is 9 in my repository, and if we try to see other repositories, for example, there is one more repository which has like huge number of pull requests which are valid, and it's actually getting bigger and bigger. So it is called Neo Algo, I guess. Let me try to find it out for you. So if I try to change the repository name from mine to this Neo Algo, the number of total count is going to be 527, and we are hitting the red light here. So now the funny part is we need to see how we are going to fetch the whole stuff. So for example, if we see here, the maximum number of results per page we can see is the only 99, but we need to get all the results 527, which means the we need to divide this by say 100, so it comes as 5.27, and we need to find the upper limit of that. So for example, I guess it's math.ceil, right? So it should be like 6. So until first page, second page, third page, fourth page, fifth page, and sixth page, till sixth page we need to check it out. So for that we need to try to get all these page numbers, and then we need to send the request. Okay, sending the request. There is another big problem with sending the request. Every request, so per minute, there is something called as a rate limit. So there is something called as a rate limit reset, etc. So if you see the rate limit, it is just 10, and this gets reset at this point. Okay, so if I try to see when is this, I can just type in new date, and I can multiply by 1000. So now it should say, it says 7:25:50. The time is, okay, it's actually reset. Or what? Yeah, so every 1 minute, it can allow up to 10 requests, which means you can have a maximum of 6 seconds per request. So one request per 6 seconds. So what we can do is we can divide the number of requests, or like, so since it's 6 seconds, right? So we can give some more um, time for this, and then add 6 seconds delay inside every single um, like every time when you're trying to send a request. Before that, let's give a time of 6 seconds. So what we are going to do now is we are going to try to get all this data for all these repositories. So that's the first challenge. So we are going to work on these things in a visual manner using a React code, obviously, and we'll see how we can fetch all these data. So that's exactly what we are going to do. And today for this, I'm going to use a class component. The reason being, so literally this is not going to be a React application, but it is just for the visual purposes. And we'll be using code sandbox for this so that it is easy to share the code or something like that. And Vishal, I just wanted to ask you one more thing. So list of repositories, can we make it public? That's okay, right? It's already public, right? Vishal, are you muted? I'm not sure. I'm not able to hear you. Yeah.
It's already public.
So yeah, so we can make the list of repositories public as well. And since this is going to be a class component, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up a new VS Code window just to get some help with the shortcuts. So I'm just gonna create a RCC React class component, and okay, so we will just use this one, and let's do a class name app. Okay, cool. So we have got something like this, which has a small basic things. So I'm quickly going to remove all the styles, the default styles, and add some nice styles what we have got. So just give me some time so that I'll add the CSS alone, which is going to take some time if I do it from the first. So in the meantime, I'll also check the YouTube live stream chat. Okay, so there are so many questions now. Nice. Hey Devraj, hey Sudipto, hey Priya. Thanks Sudipto. Private repositories are not included in any open source contribution. See, what is open source? It's supposed to be like open for everyone, right? So Vishal, actually you could be also the right person to explain this. Are we including private repositories in GSSoC?
No. So
No.
in open source, all participants are contributed to the project. So it should be the public. If it's the private, then nobody can contribute to the repository.
Exactly. So that is the problem, right? Okay, cool. So what we are going to do right now is I'm gonna use this one. So let me put this here, and I need to get the list of projects, right? So these are the list of projects that are there in GSSoC 21. Not only that, I had got a lot of emails and direct mail saying like my project is not included and stuff like that. So I'm gonna add some more of those things. So I believe Sudipto Ghosh, you got your answer. And thanks Aryaman, and hey Karuna Tata. Okay, so just give me one more second. I'll try to get the other projects as well. Hey Vishal, can you tell people that we are doing this, or like, okay, should we save this? Share this in the general channel.
Yes.
Okay, I just shared it, and I also need to get all the other project names. So I'm just trying to find out where exactly they are. So we've actually got these many projects, plus there are some projects coming in as well. Let's add them. So these are a couple of projects, and we have some more. I don't know who else actually added me some projects. Just a second. Damn, Discord is so slow. Okay, so cool. So let's just go ahead. So only this set of projects I was able to find, the extra set of projects which were initially not included or something like that. So now we have got the list of projects. So if we are trying to run the code, like run the request for these many number of projects, it's gonna go totally bad. But let's see how many projects are there here. So if I use a pre-tag and let's put something like projects.length. So we have a total of 101 projects already. I'm pretty sure that there are so many other projects are also there here. So if we try to do this way, it's gonna go screw up the whole application, because we need to more than screwing up the application, we need to limit the number of requests to 6 per minute. So for thinking about that way, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the projects.length manually to say 2 or 3. So this will show you only there are only 2 projects. Now if I try to do something like this is a quick way of checking things I generally do. So if I try to check what are all the projects available here, let's see what it shows. Okay, JSON.stringify projects. Sorry about this. So there are only 2 projects that's shown instead of the 101 projects. So I'm just gonna ask those people if there are any project admins out there whose project is not added to GSSoC 21, and you're already people are contributing to it. I know that Arun Tetlia actually added this one, and there is this project. I guess it's supposed to be project, right? Let me quickly check this. So github.com. Yeah, that's supposed to be project, not project. Right. Arun, you're so bad. Okay, so right, fine. So now we need to go through each of these things. So let's have a state variable, and that has like a list of the responses. So that's exactly what we are going to do. And before that, let me quickly find if there is any messages from the live stream. Hey Kaustubh. Okay, I guess there's not many messages, so let's go ahead. Vishal, will you be able to ping the project managers on the project admins on the general channel to come and I mean, like there is one more project admin who sent me their projects were not added to the repository or something like that, but I don't remember who it was. So, okay, can you just do this for me? Like go to the general channel or something like that and ask them to let me know. But before that, I'm just going to go ahead and work with the rest of projects that we have.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay, so now the first thing is we are going to add some nice, dependencies for the first thing being the bootstrap and some icons. Okay, so the easiest way to do it in our sandboxes, you have something called dependencies and you have something called as external resources. So the first thing is I'm going to use bootstrap.min.css, which is the bootstrap thing. So if I click on add resource, it automatically makes its stuff correctly. Then if we go to the style.css, let me add some nice CSS files. Just a second. it's very simple one, so not much. So I'm just gonna get rid of the, I'm just gonna add the fonts and other things, as simple as that, nothing else. So and we have to add the state variable as well. So let me think of what state variable I'm planning to add. So I guess I'll go with something like we'll have something like an alert. Okay, so if we might need to have multiple alerts, so for that so what exactly is happening, etc. So this is a application, right? So app, right? So app alerts can be added here. Now the first thing that I'm going to do is I need to do a component did mount. Okay, so component did mount is the document ready function, similar stuff that will run at every time when the application is loaded. So that's something which I wanted to do. And here, this is the main thing that we are going to work with. So we need to create the list of alerts by adding a new alert or something like that. So I'm just going to create a small helper function for that, which is going to set the complete list of alerts. So I'm just going to use a const alert. And so whenever this set alert is called with a alert thing, so what it does is it's going to get all the alert variables inside this, and then it is going to push the contents of alert. And then it's going to reset the state. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. And this way we will be getting all the list of alert stuff. Hey, this is awesome, Sudipto. That's nice. Keep doing it. Okay, and the next thing that we are going to do is inside the component did mount, we are going to set a variable which is whether we are using a debug mode as true or false. So that will be very helpful, because in case if you don't want to send the request immediately, it is going to help us. So maybe we can use some crazy name like don't send calls or something like that. So that might help us. So don't send calls means it will not send the real calls. So I'm going to put true for now, because we are currently developing the whole thing. So let's start from that. And the next thing is we need to have a way to delay the response. So right now we are using synchronous, all these things are synchronous, right? So we need to use something called as async and await. So I also wrote the right way of delaying in JavaScript. So if you want to delay something, you are not supposed to use set timeout, but here you need to use set timeout in a totally a different way. For example, I'm gonna use promises. So for example, if I use something like await and like await and async is a good way to start with. So if I try to do something like let's say I have start, I have a promise timing started, and then I'm using like 5,000 milliseconds, which is 5 seconds. And then once start shows, it will say end, and it will also show when the whole script got ended. So start, after 5 seconds, it's gonna show end, and then the promise actually took 5 seconds, 4 milliseconds. This is cool, right? This is the right way of delaying the delaying the timeout. I'm just going to share this link on YouTube as well. And Sudipto, whatever you said is right. We are going to use the then and catch, and that's perfectly what we are going to do. And let's close this. I have actually shared this link with you all. Okay, so that small helper function, what we can use is for the delaying, we will use something like a sleep function. Okay, so for sleep function, I'm just thinking we'll use something like this. So we can put the sleep function as a separate function, right? It's a helper function, right? So I'm going to put this here. So what it does is it's going to create a sleep function with a number of milliseconds. It's going to do the same promise, setting sending out a new promise, and it's going to try to resolve the promise, and with the number of milliseconds, as simple as that. So what we can do is, like, every single time when the request is sent, it's gonna await the sleep. So when we are using the await, we need to also make this component async. So that's one thing that we are going to do. And finally, let's also try to get the um, set alert. So let's actually try to do this one. So every time when you're trying to use a set timeout, or maybe if you're trying to use a set state variable, everything is a asynchronous call. So we are going to also do an await on those things as well. So I'm gonna do that right now. So let's say if we are adding this one, this dot set alert, so starting the app, this is going to be an asynchronous call as well. Let's try to see if this works. So we are going to do another await and give a sleep, and then we are going to give 2 seconds. Then we are going to do a set alert, and we can do something like slept for 2 seconds. And if we try to do, instead of JSON.stringify projects, we can do state, this dot state. So this will have alert starting the app, and after 2 seconds, this is going to be showing. Then we can also add another thing, which is going to be the 5-second delay, and just to make sure everything works fine. So I'm going to give 5 seconds and 5 and save it. Then if we refresh the page, it's going to start the app. After 2 seconds, it's going to say slept for 2 seconds. After 5 seconds, after the 2 seconds, it's going to do slept for 5 seconds. We are using set timeout or something like that. It is asynchronous call, and this will not work as expected. So on the first 2 seconds, the slept for 2 seconds will come most probably at 5th seconds from the starting, not at the 7th second. This will show 5 seconds over. So that kind of a thing gets fixed here. So let's get rid of all these things. And now what we need to do is we need to construct the let's do a for loop here. Okay, so let's say for let I is equal to 0, I is less than projects dot length, right? Then I plus plus. So every projects we are going to go through this one. So we had projects.length as 2. Let's give project.length as 5, and then we can try to do something like we are going to use a lot of asynchronous function here. So now this immediately shows starting the app within quick. So what we are going to do is we will try to send request for, okay, so send request for dollar projects of I. So this is happening in a very quick method. Like the moment it got initialized, it immediately happens. And now I'm going to put another await and give a sleep of 6 seconds. For now, let's make it as 2 seconds so that we can clearly see what exactly is happening. So every 2 seconds, this is actually sending the request to the GitHub API, but technically it should be 6 seconds, or else we will max out the GitHub API limits. 6 seconds can be 7 seconds, so something like that. So now what we are going to do is for every project, right? So this project.I, that is going to be our, let's say, primary key or something like that. For these things, we will be getting the response, and then we will be saving it to the state. That's how this is going to work. That's what we are going to do. And what are we trying to look at? So when we try to send a request to, let's say, one of the project files, for example, I'll show you this one. So if we go to this API and it says total count is 527. So what we have done is we sent the request to this particular repository, and then we are able to get the total count here. And since the page is number 1, we can also see page 1 and per page has 100. So this is supposed to be divided, and like we need to create page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. So this is the logic where I was stuck at. So we can try doing something on this. So give me a moment. I'll just check the YouTube Comments. Okay, no comments so far. Promises versus async await. Your take. I'll go with promises. And async await is good in making the synchronous logic or something like that. So that is always better. Okay, so sometimes it's very yeah, okay. This is this we'll try to get this whole um, content here. So what we are going to do is let's not use 5 or 6 projects, or else it will max out us. So I'm just going to put just 2, and here the moment it goes to Tesseract coding, it needs to paginate as well. So that's the main thing that we need to do. And what I'm going to do is, so we are supposed to create the request. So um, so this is supposed to be the whole API, and I'll just try to do this one. So now, based on this output, we need to also find out how many repositories are there. Okay, so let's do a verbose thing, sending request to, and this can be done only if debug mode is enabled. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do const debug mode is true. Okay, so it is going to send the request to this particular page. Okay, so once this request is sent, we need to find out what exactly is the content of this request, and based on the content we need to also find out. Okay, so oh wait, it's actually sending to both all the time. It's going to Tesseract coding. So let's go ahead and do what is this here? So projects of I. So the first request goes to Tesseract coding, and second request goes to my project, which is perfect. And now we will really send the request. I don't know what's going to happen right now. So let's see. So here we will try to add a fetch API. And before that, we are also doing this don't send calls as well, right? So we need to implement that too. So I'm just going to add both the codes here. So there will be a fetch logic, and the content of the response will be saved into the state, and that state will be the project name. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So after sending this debug mode message, we can also give something like debug. And then finally, here is where we are going to do the real stuff. And before that, I will just try to put some classes for this. Class name. Border rounded P1, and so that it looks perfectly identifiable. Now, okay, don't send calls is true is there, right? So we'll just use this one. So now this particular thing, what exactly I have done here? So we have used proj somewhere. Okay. Why did I use proj? So I'm just going to get the current project. I will just cache this proj part. So inside this one, I'm just going to put proj equal to projects. So now it is actually sending the request directly to this. So if you see the state, you'll be able to find it out. This dot set alert. Okay, set state. We have also given the proj dot thing. Okay, since we have not sent the real API request. I was just a bit curious why this was not populated, since because we have not sent the real API request. So let's try to create the real API request. So I'm just going to put false here. Bam. So it's also updating the other project details as well. So it's shows total count is 528. So based on this total count, we need to also update this. So I'm just gonna make this thing like 7,000, and every 7 seconds it's going to send out a request. So that's what is going to happen right now. Are you all with me? Is there any questions or something like that? I love Axios too. Right now, since we are going to just do a small thing, we are using the fetch API, and fetch API is easier as well without any much overhead. So that's the reason I'm using fetch API. Hey, Kushi. Thanks. Okay, so now based on the current request, we need to also do something about this. So how am I supposed to do this? Now we can have something like so we need to look into this total count, right? So what I can do here is I can add, so inside the for loop, or okay, maybe I'll just use this way here. So every time when a request is sent, I need to use a small counter of the page. Okay, so let page equal to 1. All right, and now the total page also we need to look at, right? So I'm just gonna try finding something on that too. So it also need to send the page numbers here. So page equal to 100 I have put just to make sure we are getting only the 0 results, something like that. So supposed to be page, okay, per page, no, page equal to $page. Okay, cool. So now it has got the total count at this point, right? So this total count is supposed to be inside the for loop. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So since this one is inside the for loop, when it goes out of the for loop, these things get reset. So if I do like let total count equal to null, so this will actually, this supposed to set the total count as well. So what I'm gonna do is everything is an awaited one, right? Now I'm gonna do total count. Oh, sorry, it should be count, right? Count equal to res.total count. And now here's where the main thing comes up. After this, instead of directly going to the next repository, I need to check whether I'm supposed to give another request to the same repository. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will try to do a while loop or something like that. What is better? Is while loop a better, or should we be giving something else? So now if page is less than, sorry, is it page? Yeah, is if page is less than count, okay, math dot seal, right? Of how are we supposed to do this? Count divided by 100. Yeah, that's it. 100. So we need to also see what all these data. So this needs to send it to the same repository. So console.log send to same repo. So this is what needs to be happened, and we need to send a couple of requests to the same repository. So that's exactly what needs to happen. So we need to also copy this await. So the moment we stop here, we need to also do a sleep here, because already we have sent a request at this point. So this will not actually work. So here we need to do page plus plus, and if page is equal to the same, okay, it should be less than or equal to. If not, it comes out of this, right? So this should be a while loop really. Okay. And then we need to do page plus plus, then sleep, and then we need to send the fetch here. So count is here. We are also updating the thing. Okay, it's actually sending to the rate limit only, so that's fine. Oh wait, it's not sending to the rate limit. It's actually sending the real right ones. So we will just call this. The only thing that we need to update here anyway is, I have no clue. So let's just directly blindly go for this one. So we are incrementing the page. We are waiting for 7 seconds, and then we are just running the fetch. I hope this should work. So, okay, it did not work, right? I don't think it worked. It's actually not. Okay, wait. Page 10. Supposed to be page $page. Okay, cool. I guess I'm screwing up the whole thing. Okay, now it comes. So let's go back to what are all the requests that's been sent. So it's not sending to the, it's not again sending to another page. Okay, that's interesting. So we have, let's do a console.log on these two things. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. So we'll use console. Okay. Console.log page count. Oh, I can easily do this way. Page count and the condition. Condition needs to be true for some time. And then, okay, so before that, let's use limit, which is going to be the maximum, and the condition. This needs to pass every single time for up to 5 times, I guess 6 times, right? Okay, let's try this. So let's go on with this. Count is null. There you go. That's the problem. It's actually not setting the count. This is supposed to be block scoped, and for some reason this count is not getting set. Okay, that's interesting. Anyone to help me out with this one? So this is the problem. It's not actually setting the count really. I believe this is actually working here. So if I try the same thing inside, so there is count 528 coming up, but oh, after 5 seconds, this is not working. Okay, so out of this, it seems like there is some kind of like a, okay, let's use VAR here. Fine, this is the worst thing I can ever imagine that we are doing. So limit is 6, which is perfect. Condition is also true. But again, the condition has become false. So which particular repository are we doing here? So that also we need to look into. So in these two things, let's try using proj. The page is not getting incremented to. Are we incrementing the page at all? Yeah, we are incrementing the page. So I guess we need to use the VAR page. Okay. JavaScript and scoping, it always goes on a crazy thing. The count should never be null, but this is actually showing null a lot of times. Okay, I'm going to ask the community's help at this point. Hey folks, hey everyone. Vishal, that's it, I give up kind of. Okay, I need the community's help. I'm stuck. Vishal, do you have any idea? Why is this happening or something like that? So we are inside the whole thing, and then this is outside. Okay, let's also try to do something like where inside, and then like here it does outside. Now come on, clear everything, and then we need to do it again. So let's refresh this thing, and so outside. Okay, now this is something which is interesting. Did you see this? It's actually okay, now I understand. Right. Let's use await. Okay, I hope now it should work. Okay, that worked. Did you see this? So page is 1, count 528. It says send to same repo. And I believe it's going to send it correctly. Now, no, it doesn't. Okay, so there is a fetch again here. So we need to do an await again. Finally, I guess this should work. It's not about VAR or anything. So we should change it back to let again, I guess. Okay, no, again, there seems to be something wrong again. So outside let says null once again. So we are awaiting this one. Okay, so so the first thing it should show is inside, but it's actually doing outside first. Okay, this is not the right way. So let's use let here. Let's use let here again. Okay, but it at least says once send to the same repo or something like that, but it's not exactly perfectly happening. So let's see. So inside 528, outside is also 528. So it's supposed to go to the second page. So let's wait for another few seconds. Nope. So after the, oh yeah, sorry, I have to use while, not if. Okay. Let's see. Inside, outside it is going as Tesseract coding, page 1. So it needs to go to the page 2. Right, I guess it works. So there is no, okay. Okay, cool. I guess this works. So before we are doing this await fetch, we need to also send the request to which project or something like this, right? So we can do something like project one page $page. Okay, so we could do something like this. And now I'm just going to copy the same thing, and this needs to also happen here. So this is actually sending the request to this particular page. Await fetch is also here, so it is sending the request to the perfect page. So I'm just going to copy this whole stuff. I hope I haven't maxed out our GitHub API's limit. So inside the while loop, before the fetch, let's try adding this one. Boom. So we can clear everything. Let's start from the first. Okay, let's refresh the whole page, clear everything. So it's outside. Okay, count is null. So after 7 seconds, it's still outside. We can actually see what exactly is happening in the alert. So the first one is, it's actually sending the page one request again, which is not the right thing. Where are we incrementing the page and where are we? Okay, we are actually incrementing the page here, but does it still go to the same thing? Okay, no, it is not. Doesn't work. The send to the same repo is not working now, right? Yep, send to the same repo is not coming here. Okay, so on the outside, right? Okay, the inside is not getting executed at all. Correct. Okay, I guess we have maxed it out. Yes, we have maxed it out. That's the reason. So let's wait for another couple of seconds and then try to do this again. We gave too many requests to GitHub and it needs another 1 minute to. Okay, now it should work. Boom, send to the same repo. Cool. So it takes another 7 seconds. But it's not actually working. Just say send to the same repo. Let's see the alert. Okay, Tesseract 1, Tesseract 2, page 1, page 2, page 3. Bam, we made it work. Page 4. But these things are getting overwritten. That's again another thing that we need to think about. So what we can do is, how does this actually show us which page you are in or something like that? That we need to find it out. Okay, so page 6, that should be the last page and it should go to my page. Yeah, perfect. That worked. So, okay, great. That was a crazy thing. So we will get rid of all these things. Let's close this off. How am I supposed to close this? Okay, like, wait, let's make it as 0. Let's get rid of all the console.logs. And we have got our, right. So now when we are trying to do the fetch part, we need to also update something here. So we are getting something like a res.total count, right? Along with that, we also need to find what exactly is happening inside this one. But before that, let me try to look at the. Hey Ayush, hey Kirtana, hi everyone, hi Anish. Right, so it was just my mistake. What I did was I kind of like did not use while loop where I need to use a while loop. That's the only mistake I did. And apart from that, let's also see what exactly we can do for getting the list of project details. So if we go to the API here, so the API page, when it shows something like this, we get a lot of items, right? So we need to find the items and we need to push it as the pull request items. That's exactly what we need to do. At the end of the 6 requests, we need to have the list total count should be equal to the state variable. So that's exactly what we need to do. So items is what we need to look at. It's true. And every time when this is actually being sent, we need to do so, and to get this dot state of proj okay, for there is a first one as well as the last one, right? So for this one we can do items, and then for the subsequent requests what we can do is we can just do okay, rest dot items, I guess it's items, right? Rest dot items, and then here we need to find the content, this dot state of proj, and then along with this we are also adding the rest dot items. Sorry, not state dot proj, rest dot items. So this will actually append the list of all these things. So first thing, it will actually append the list. The second thing, it will also get the current list of items and add it to this one. Okay. Now it will also update the count, etc. Now instead of the state, what I would do is okay, for every state I'm not gonna use this particular thing at all. So let's try to show something visually nice. I'll be using some bootstrap stuff. Let me try adding that. So here we have the starting of app, and at the end we do have the this dot state, which we will try to avoid this. So I'm just gonna do like a false conditional component, like false. Okay, so this is just starting the app, nothing else. Okay, so what we can do is we can like don't send calls is false, and alert is okay. We need to also debug mode is also okay, and the only thing that we need to look into is the projects.length. Okay, let's try with 3 projects so that we can see how it is actually working out, and then based on that we can see this one. So but before that, it is going to just show it is actually grabbing each and every pull request, right? So at this point of time it shows something like where are we here? So this is the alert. I'll show you how this thing works. So this is the total count, and here we need to also show the list of the stuff. So how am I supposed to do? So like let's just use the count alone. Okay, so dot length. So we know that it is actually 500 and something. So I hope this should work really. So I'm just gonna set the project length as 3. Boom. So first request, it shows 100. So after 7 seconds, this should go to 200. 101 now. Not exactly. Oh, wait. Looks like we maxed it out again. Okay, it's not exactly working correctly. Okay, I know what is happening. Right. So we need to also expand this thing too. Okay, so now we would have maxed it out again. So let's wait for some more time. Yep, we have maxed it out. So let's wait for a minute and then try to refresh this page. So we'll be able to find out what is actually happening. How am I supposed to stop this? Okay, there is something like 200 already. We are able to see this. So we are able to see that there are 200, 300. So which page are we in right now? Page 5. Should be something around 328. So I believe we have got like 528. So since the GitHub API was maxed out, we couldn't find everything. So let's see. There are 33. I guess that's it. We are done. This should work. It's like should stop. All right. So let's try to see this whole thing in the big version, and it should technically work. Bam. So 100 pull requests at the first moment. 200 pull requests for the second one. Believe it's going to be 300 at the end of the third one. Yes. Then 400 at the end of fifth one. Yep. 500 and then 528. Then goes to mine. Then goes to Manthan, which is 33. Yep. 500. Cool. $529. Boom. I guess this is the only project that's been extremely active, and we've got like 529 projects now. Already we were looking at 527. Now it has become 529, and it is sending a request to the other project, and that's it, done. So now if we try to look into the components and look at the state variable here, we can see that there is like 529 pull requests here. Those are all eligible, valid pull requests. And now we have got all these. So if I try to run this whole thing based on, we need to go into this one, each and everything. We need to try to find out which user has actually done this one. And based on the level tag, we also need to do this. So here the username is Abhay Chauhan. And we need to use the same kind of the user variable and stuff like that. So should we do a second part for this? What do you think, everyone? So just to get the content of each pull request. So if you look at for this, I guess we took like around 10, 15, sorry. So this is like six requests, 7, 8. So 7. So this alone took me 1 minute. So let's say there are like around 100 projects, which is like 3 times the whole thing. So yeah, it can easily take around 30 minutes for just to get this, and then we need to process the content of this, and we need to go ahead and do it, like go ahead and construct that leaderboard based on this. So yeah, so that's exactly what I wanted to show. So this is one of the major things that which any kind of a group of communities can do. And here you go. Am I not audible? Right, what do you think, Vishal, so far?
Yeah, it's so good. We have calculated all the PR till now of all the projects.
We have just got the PRs so far. So now the thing is, we need to go into each PR. For example, let's say if we take one of the PRs, we need to find out who is the user, and then the labels. Labels is what we need to look at. So for this labels, right, what we can do is, okay, what we can do here is, if we try to parse individual PRs, it's going to go crazy now, because a single PR node has a lot of things. So let's just take the labels part alone. So let's copy the value to the clipboard. So this is the labels, right? So if I put labels equal to this one, what I can do is labels equal to labels dot map. I can give something like L dot. What do I have actually inside labels? Okay, wait. Let's put labels again. Right. So each and everything, it has something called as name. Okay. Should we do the lowercase to lowercase? Okay. So now we get level 0 and GSSoC 1. Okay, and we can get we need to intersect this labels. Okay, so we have level 0, level 1, level 2, and level 3, right? So intersect that. How are we going to do? So let's try to do this one as well. So sort A comma B. Let's try to sort it to okay, right. We should not use that way. Okay, so we have something like this, right? So labels is supposed to be, what was labels again? That was labels. So if we do sort thing, something like this, so it's going to go for level 0 and GSSoC 21. So if at all we have something like another label that's gonna be said as level 1, it needs to take the smallest one. So it is actually not sorting, really not sorting. So let's try to use just the normal sort without giving these things. Okay, that worked. Now we need to get rid of GSSoC, or we need to just do the intersection. So JavaScript intersect array. Before that, let's copy this one. So we are just doing that sort. So what are all the labels that we are looking for? Need something like level 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So now I need to intersect this array. So the easiest method is array1.filter.value is this one. Do we have anything else? Nope. We'll just take this. There's also need a filter that actually filters duplicates. So let's try this. Let's try to do everything whatever is possible from our end. What? Look at this. Cool. This is actually a wow. I guess it's an April Fool joke. Nice. All right. So let's copy this. And where are we doing it? Okay. So array1.filter, array2.includes value. Which one we are supposed to filter? This is the labels is what we are supposed to filter, and the value need includes this. Okay, so let's see what exactly this comes up. So if I try to the other labels, other projects might have multiple labels, but what we need is only these two. Okay, and also we are taking the min version of it, so we are also able to do that. So let's try to change this to say level 1 is there, level 0 is there, GSSoC 21 is there, and let's also try putting another label which is like say something like Praveen or something like that, or ready to go or something like that. Okay, so let's copy this. See, we are able to get only the level 0 and level 1. And finally, the last thing that we are going to do is the 0th one. That is the ultimate score. So it's going to show us level 0. So this is the ultimate score. And now we come to the scores part. So level 0 is 5 points. 1 is 10 points. 2 is 15. 3 is 25, right? Can you confirm this?
Yes.
So if we see the score of this particular pull request, we can see that the score is 5 because it has got both level level 1 and level 2. Okay, so now what we can do is here, instead of level 1 and level 0, I'm going to give level 3 here. Okay, so if I try this, it's going to go to 10 because level 1 is there. That is the basic, that is the minimum. Okay, perfect. So this is the root of calculating every single PR score. And we also need to get the, so this is based on the labels. So if you give the labels, this is going to calculate the score. So what we can do is we can create a function for this. Calc score. This should be a PR object. So let's put like this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it should be a PR object function. Okay, so const calc score equal to this. So for this PR object is going to be, sorry, label array. Okay, so label array is the labels. Now this is something that needs to be done. So what we will do is we'll just copy this whole labels part. We'll put it here and labels is going to be the labels, right? Okay, super. So if I try to run this thing, calc score labels, I should be getting 10 points or whatever it is. Oh, wow. Okay, undefined. I need to return this. Oh, identifier. Okay, that's fine. It's const. Okay, fine. I'll just open a new about blank. So far, any questions or anything, like how many of you? Okay, so this actually worked. So calculation of score, we will be using this one. So let's try to implement this on our page. So I'm just going to copy this one and put it over, whether it's this one or, yeah, it's here, right? Okay, so I'm just going to do 0 here and let's use calc score. And this score needs to be a constant. So const score, then this is const need. These things need not be inside the loop or something like that. So this is going to be a loop. So labels dot these things, and then it's going to return this value. And yeah, that actually works, right? So this will actually work. And yeah, so we just need to send the calc score for the each pull request, and based on that we'll be getting it. So that's, I guess we will stop it here so far. And I hope this was interesting, hopefully, for everyone. How many of you want? Yeah, the point is the point scheme has been changed now. We need to update the point scheme. Hey, Vishal, look at it. What you said is wrong, actually. Level 2 is 25 points and level 3 is 45 points.
Yeah,
See
it
the
is updated.
comments. Yeah. Sorry.
Last week.
Yes, that has been updated and we need to update it. Thanks, Ravina, for letting us know. And what we are going to do now is we will try to go through each and everything. So since that is one update, and there is also second leaderboard update as well, and we need to include that too. I don't know how we are going to make this work. So I want the community support on helping me to create this one, helping me and Vishal as well. Vishal is also working on the same leaderboard concept, and I hope it was at least interesting to solve something that is out there, and which is very much helpful for us. And uh, everyone will soon get the leaderboard in that case. And not only that, this particular code can also be used for as a generic purpose as well, right? So that's also possible. And with that being said, I'm just going to share this code in what do you call this? Obviously, everything is open source, right? So we'll add this in our live stream as well. Okay. Any other words, Vishal, from your side?
No.
No. Dude, you are the official web developer in GSSoC, right? So there are a lot of people who might have some questions about these things, so you can ask. And one more thing, one kind request to all the GSSoC 21 participants. You can see how crazy we are trying to build this and make it work. Unfortunately, that's what is. Yeah, go on, Vishal.
So I request all participants to participate in the Gulf Script Summer of Code and open source. And we are trying to work on the leaderboard, and it may be possible in 1 week or lesser than 1 week. We will
lesser than 1 week, yeah.
Lesser than 1 week. We will host the leaderboard.
Hey. So we are still, and anyone who is gonna help me with leaderboard, please contact me, and I'll be glad to take your help. And I hope we will be fixing this soon. We will be getting this leaderboard soon, because even I want to see how it looks. So the thing that I have shared is the right one, I guess. Yes. So cool. Any other questions? Please let me know. And let's go from there. So we have got the calculation, score calculation, and all these things are done. So I will update the score calculation as well as per. Hey, Vishal, you are the admin of Awesome JavaScript Projects, right?
Yeah.
Tell about your project. People are asking about it.
Okay. So I am a project admin on the Awesome JavaScript project. It is basically a project in which we have more than 50 mini projects of vanilla JavaScript. My main focus is to participants should learn vanilla JavaScript first, then they should go for any framework library like React or Angular, but they should first know the concept of vanilla JavaScript. Once they implement by watching the tutorial, then they implement by themselves. And once they do some project, they should go for a React or anything else.
That's awesome, man. Thanks. That's actually a nice idea. And for people who do not know about me, I'm also a project admin. I'm a project admin of DevTurnship, and we are trying to solve the biggest problem our current scenario faces. Like in the pandemic, there seems to be a lot of people who are looking for jobs, and there are a lot of companies who are ready to offer jobs. But the way we are going to connect the huge number of intakes for a single company, we'll use something called as DevTurnship, where for all the interns, there will be an onboarding platform. First day one, what you need to do. Day two, what you need to do. Day three, what you need to do. Something like that. GSSoC should have actually implemented this one, so that people will be very clear about like where to go, what, and how to work with this. So what you need to read first, and what kind of like meetings are scheduled. Those kind of things can also be added. Hey, that's actually a good idea. I got a great idea now by saying like Oh my God. So deep though. This is bad, man. Okay. So I can also add something like calendar details. So that's actually a nice idea. So in case if DevTurnship mentors are here, we can add that also as a new feature for our project. So boom, open source actually rocks. So we are actually developing or building a lot of new things, lot of great ideas, and that's really good. um, Nishant Patel asks, where you from both and position, please. Okay, I'm originally from Chennai, India. Currently, I'm living and working in the United Kingdom, London, and I'm a full stack JavaScript specialist, focusing on React and Node.js. I work for a bank, which is in one of the top three in the UK. And Vishal, about you?
I am from New Delhi, India. I am studying in NSIT, Delhi, Netaji Subhash University of Technology. And I am also a full stack web developer and open source developer. Currently doing participate in more than five open source program and mentoring students
Wow,
for the same. Yeah.
that's awesome, man. Okay, so Nishant, you heard us. Any other questions or anything? What is your feedback on this? What did you think? Did you all learn something new in JavaScript or something like that? Please let us know on the comments. And yeah, so how about the swags part? Hey, I guess Vishal, again, you are the right person to say about GSSoC swags. Just tell them what all the swags, and those people who have not joined GSSoC this year, they are missing it. You can just tease them and bring them in the next year. Go on.
Yeah. So facts are the surprises, and it will be disclosed at the end of the program.
What? Not
Yeah.
now.
No.
Dude, I can't wait for 2 more months. Okay, fine then. So, thanks, Ravina, for the awesome feedback, and I hope it was helpful as well. And Mohit Singh, at what time the leaderboard will be launched? I guess let's give it at least a week or so, because you can see how much effort is going on to creating this one and trying to parse it and get the output. See, it's not about the logic really. Now it's about the GitHub's like
GitHub.
crazy rate limits and other things. That's what is like screwing up the whole thing. So you can be rest assured. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to create a huge JSON file getting generated from the current projects, and the leaderboard will have, it will not be like what do you call this, it will not be um, updated runtime, like it's not going to be a real time leaderboard. It will be updated every 1 day. Is that okay for everyone? Monish, oh my God, Monish is another swag hunter like me. Yeah, hey, I guess I need to show this thing to Monish right now to make him kind of jealous. So just yesterday, Monish, I got these three things and this one. So I'm sorry. This is just between me and Monish. Monish and I have this huge race between us. We need to get a lot of swags. We need to try pitch in a lot of swags and give a lot of swags to the community as well. And I raised something like I told that every person who is going to come to my live stream for the 30 days of React, for the past 3 live streams, we've been giving t-shirts and awesome swags. And yes, Monish, and unfortunately you missed it. There you go. So yeah, so others, if you have not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. And hey, Nishant, that's awesome. It's my first time in open source, and I started my journey with GSSoC, and it's going very well. And also, it's the active community and mentors. Thank you, man. That's cool. Nice to know about that. So this is also one of the part of Eddie Hub Guild. And how many of you are here from the MLH local day? So that's also there. Hey, Vishal, do you know about MLH local day?
Yeah.
So AD Hub is one of the guilds that I'm also part of, and it's one of the awesome things. Like community first, code second. What I would do is food first, community second, code third. Yeah, so this is also a part of that. So in case if you are if you know about that, you can also win a lot of t-shirts, mugs, face masks with the MLH logo. MLH is major league hacking, and they are like doing pretty awesome work. Yeah, so Mohit Singh is also doing MLH LHD. Great. So he's a part of Program Universal Group. Cool, awesome, man. Yeah, there is also another leaderboard there too, and that leaderboard is completely manual, and I don't know how they are doing it because they have like so much huge number of participants. I guess it is like around 60K participants or something like that. So, hey Vishal, your face is gone on the screen. Yeah, so there are around like 60K of. Oh wow!
Swag.
Hey, that's nice.
It was
Cool.
last MLH hack day. Yeah, swag.
Hey, don't miss it. So a lot of people who do not know about MLH, go check it out. You can learn a lot. Like, I'm sorry, man, lot more than GSSoC. So or any other open source program, because MLH is like so huge, and yeah, GSSoC is also great. Yeah, as Mohit says, yes, their leaderboard is like freaking awesome. I mean, I don't know, man. Seriously, what do you think, Rohit? Just for like 6,500 participants, we are like breaking our heads like anything. How are they even trying to do 10 times higher? I don't think it's 10 times higher. I guess they would be having like 6.5 lakh participants. Do you have any idea how they might be managing it? All right. So that's awesome. I hope we all had a great time. So we are going to go for a second part of the same thing. Vishal, will you be there for the second part, or should I do it alone?
Sure, I will be there.
Yay. Okay. So Vishal, along with you, can we also get Ritika too? So Ritika was also a part of the leaderboard thing, right?
Yeah, I will contact her.
Awesome. Cool. Nice. So that's great, and I hope everyone had a great time learning something new. And Nishant says, "Bro, create one GSSoC mask for rewards because it's Corona time. Just part of jokes." Actually, that's a great idea. So why don't we take it up? The core team guy is here. Hey, Vishal, let the core team know, or maybe just do something about it. You are the person who is giving the printed masks, right?
Yeah.
Part of swags. Cool, awesome. Thank you so much for this idea, Nishant Patel. And I guess yeah. So in case if you're not getting your masks, contact this guy. He's in Delhi. And yes. Mohit, no Mohit. I just answered you like a few seconds ago. It takes another week or so. We don't know, but we are trying to do it less than a week's time. Okay. Right. So, yeah. Any last words, Vishal?
Yeah, we are trying very hard to host our leaderboard, and we will try our best to post our leaderboard in less than 1 week.
See you all then. So I hope you got the answer, and we are working very hard, and you'll see. You'll soon. I mean, more than you all, we are looking to. I mean, I'm more probably looking at how it is coming out, because we have been putting our heart and soul in bringing this thing. So thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Satvik. Thanks a lot, Mohit, for coming in. Thanks a lot, Nishant, for that awesome idea for the GSSoC team. And thanks, Priyadarshini. Priyadarshini has been like a huge support for me to bring my project to the next level, for doing the Husky level 3 for you. And thanks. Thanks, everyone. And thanks, Ravina and Monish, for joining in as well and giving your inputs. So see you all. Just say a bye, and bye, folks. Thank you, Mohit. Bye.